again, folks. Welcome back to the Super Quasar Video Shopping Network. As always, I'm Nova Delta, and with me is Kronos Jackson. And today we've got some stuff that will blow you away.
And we mean that literally. Today we're bringing you the most sought-after weaponry in the known universe. We're talking about the most historic death-dealing equipment of the last hypersolar epoch.
And these aren't replicas, folks. These are the real deal. Those generals, warlords, and rebels you read about on your projection tablets back in pre-academy, these were actually held by those mighty men.
And women. Don't forget about Madame Raven's laser gem spear.
A good point. Don't want to end up like old Klebar Khan. You have to respect those fighting women, or they'll cut off your...
Oh, the first finely crafted tools of methodical mayhem we've got for you today were crafted by the androids of a Tarn Monster and Asteroid 3579A.
These are the last pieces created before the Blitz incursion that sent the whole rock hurtling into a Terran Prime.
Which makes these the last known examples of that fine Ataran craftsmanship. Better tap in the network soon, because these won't be available for much longer.
I can sense that this next weapon will be particularly ferocious and legendary. This one sounds like it'll be an auction-style feature listing.
That's right, folks. We've got the Neuron Core Hyper Assault Rifle wielded by none other than Captain Turon of the Browncoat Resistance during the New Jupiter Rebellion.
We all know how that worked out for the rebels, but it wasn't because of this beauty. Those android monks really knew how to make a fine firearm that just don't make power cells like this anymore.
That's on account of the radiation. But don't worry, our top technicians have spent days meticulously inserting a Titan alloy sheath around each of the 5 power cells inside this blaster.
Which is good, because you're going to need all of that power. The 9 neutron core wave pulse that this paleo puppy puts out can fry the juice right out of your hanging sacks of...
Some say Turon took a whole troop transport shuttle with a single shot from one of these.
That's right. 50 birds, 1 tiny stone, made of 100% grade X neutron core goodness.
This is where I'm supposed to tell you how much you can own these for, but I'm getting word from my floor director that a bidding war started as soon as we went live. And yes, wow! Apparently these have already sold for nearly 4 trillion sectrons.
Salgoa! It sounds like starting a losing war that kills millions is quite the moneymaker.
Well, I guess we should move on to our next piece. I'm thinking we might break some records with this one now.
I'd say it's a sure thing. This next item is probably the most sought after piece of history that has ever blown anything up.
Everyone knows the story that made it famous, the battle at Cybertron 4. But how many know where General Harrison T. Conroy first encountered his trusty Ravager?
Harrison T. Conroy was just a colonel at the time. His team had been dispatched to deal with a non-native species on Corrigar A. But they were wholly unprepared for the new species they encountered. He was alone, he was bloodied, and he was out of ideas. Until he found it. Perched atop a rock like King Arthur's Excalibur was a level 9 nuclear force punching emitter. To this day, no one knows where it came from, but it was the right tool for the job. The beast charged, but Colonel Conroy was unfazed.
Bring it, bitch.
Due to the unprecedented bidding war that we have underway, we have been instructed not to touch this particular piece.
Yes, apparently it is now worth more than either of our lives.
Well, maybe your life.
I'm not joking. Jim said that if we make any move to touch it, Captain Richards back there has been cleared to end the threat.
It looks now the bidding is in the vicinity of, I don't know how to say that number. What comes after quadrillion?
Yeah, can we just get this thing out of here? Richards already has his plasma array out, and it's really making me feel uncomfortable.
Here at QVSN, we believe that your satisfaction and your safety should be our top priority. All the weapons available through QVSN are meticulously tested by our top-level security force personnel. Each weapon is first disassembled, then each individual component is inspected for wear and tear that might inhibit functionality. Next, we reassemble each piece with brand new hardware sourced from the original manufacturers whenever possible. And finally, each weapon is personally tested by one of my top-ranking lieutenants.
Welcome back, friends and shoppers. Now, masses of assassins throughout the galaxy look to us here at the Super Quasar Video Shopping Network to provide them with the most useful and painful, deadly weaponry known to conscious matter.
But we don't just sell combustion launchers or photon ionizers here. We also sell a wide variety of star blades, ranging from the dangerous to the historically lethal.
Now, some people might say that we go too far and that these star blades have for generations posed an imminent threat to the very justice system these sacred devices were created to protect.
Other people ask, why did the Neo Emperor scientists even create such terrifying weaponry that can cut through bread as easy as can cut through a man's arm?
But of course, these are questions that may never end up being answered.
Put down the infernal merchandise. That's your last warning, you stupid Jupiter monkey.
Well, let's move on. Our next item is quite the interesting piece. We really have it in for you today. There's certainly no question rolling on the terrifying legacy of the sapphire knife of Mammon.
This star blade was used to disembowel our current and most glorious leader's own father and Queen Mother in front of the Tetrasenate of Supragalactic Congress at the dawning of the new age of advanced enlightenment, but was lost in the chaos of the Great Orbital Siege, the great battle to usurp rightful control of the galaxy by military supercomputer Gobo and his mechanized minions.
It was the modern time's longest and most deadly conflict between the killing machines and the ordained cyborg priests charged with protecting our holy and gloriously luminous emperor.
And although our great leader presided over the discarded metal husks of his many legions of enemies at the end of the battle, over 20% of the galaxy's population had been lost due to the psychic wave phenomenon generated by our leader as he absorbed their spirit aura and used their energy to break the enemy lines and vaporize the neutrons that kept the chaotically evil computer mind in control of his metallic armada.
Years and years, hyper years, went by as the great cycle consumes all, but no one expected this dead knife to return.
Until one day, when an assassin from the Navigators Guild was sent on a mission that this galaxy would never forget.
Assassin's name was Loran. He could gain access to any building, any safe room, any person. Known as the most dangerous assassin in all of Consorian space. His reputation as a death dealer made even the highest ranking officials quiver. And he never failed to hit his mark. Until
My, what a stellar tale. I get emotional every time I see that. Get his arms chopped off.
Yes, and this very blade has been protected vigilantly by the most highly honorable High Captain Sergeant Richards, the Dark Inquisitor. So expertly does he wield these blades.
No! Get out of here!